Mr. Wagner, in this matter, you're before the court charged with civil contempt of court due to your failure to pay child support and or related expenses. Upon a first conviction, you could be ordered to serve up to 45 days in jail. If it's a second or subsequent offense, up to 90 days in jail. You understand the charges, sir?
Yes, I understand.
Right. The docket before you, Your Honor, is 2019-846-DS in the matter of Ms. Kelly Bridges versus Mr. Derek Wagner, with Mr. Wagner being the payer. This is an adjourned enforcement hearing. It was adjourned to allow him to be represented by court-appointed attorney as requested. It was originally, prior to that adjournment, a bench warrant hearing for his failure to appear at a referee hearing on June 13th of 2022. The order being enforced today is the modified uniform child support order dated January 13th of 2020, which states that his current child support is $109. After servicing and processing fees, brings it to $112.50. His last payment was $148.28 on September 3rd of 2021 via unemployment. He has been show cause 3 times with 1 bench warrant and 1 finding of contempt. The previous 6 months at $112.50, he should have paid $675, and he has paid none.
All right, everyone, buckle up, because today's courtroom showdown isn't just wild, it's straight up chaos. We got a judge trying to keep order, a defendant drowning in child support debt, and a Karen who completely loses her cool, cussing at the judge in open court. What starts as a simple enforcement hearing spirals into a verbal meltdown that ends with an unexpected jail sentence. And yes, it's all caught on camera. But beyond the drama, this case shows just how fast a lack of self-control can destroy your credibility before a judge. Stick around, because by the end, you'll see one of the most explosive courtroom moments ever. And trust me, you'll want to weigh in on who's actually in the wrong here.
February 28th of 2023, his total arrearages are $4,747.94. There have been no previous jail sentences with that previous contempt hearing. Mr. Wagner was booked in on March 3rd in the Calhoun County Jail on separate charges. When he was booked in on our warrant, he was in jail from February 16th to February 23rd.
Okay, do you have any questions for Ms. Wills?
Yes. Ms. Wills, has he been in jail since February 16th?
No, so he was in jail February 16th to February 23rd. He bonded out on the 23rd, and then he was booked back into jail on March 3rd. And he's been there since March 3rd on separate charges that are not FOC related.
And does he qualify for the LEAP program?
Nope.
No, so with Mr. Wagner, let me make sure that we have his correct address on file. The previous address, he does qualify for LEAP. However, due to, us not being able to get in contact with him and having the bench warrant for so long, he did not qualify. He does now, as long as he doesn't have any other warrants in the state of Michigan.
Okay, thank you. No further questions.
Okay. Any proofs, Mr. Sackrader?
Yes, I'd call Mr. Wagner.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, Mr. Wagner, can you hear me?
Yes.
You heard the testimony of Ms. Wills, is that correct?
Yes.
Is there anything that you disagreed with?
No, sir.
Okay. So you were booked in, looks like February 16th, and then you bonded out on February 23rd by posting a $100 bond. Is that correct?
Correct.
Are you willing to put that bond amount towards your child support arrearages?
Absolutely.
At this point, the facts are clear. Mr. Wagner owes nearly $5,000 in unpaid child support. That's not a typo. $5,000. And while the courts try and go by the book, Kelly, our courtroom Karen, keeps jumping in like she's auditioning for Judge Judy. What she doesn't realize is that every interruption chips away at her own case. Judges don't just rule on facts. They read body language, tone, and respect. And right now, Kelly's on track to lose the judge's patience faster than Wagner lost track of his payments.
Wait, hold on a second. Ms. Bridges, we're taking testimony from Mr. Wagner, not from you at this time. You'll have an opportunity to speak after that, so please don't interrupt.
Okay. All right. Ms. Wills testified that you're being held on other criminal charges in the jail. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you have a hearing date or a release date for those other charges?
I have a release date on the 8th.
On April 8th,
Yes, sir.
you're expected to be released.
Yes.
Good. Prior to February 16th of 2023, were you employed?
No.
Lie.
Hold on a
Okay.
second. Just hold on. Ms. Bridges, was I unclear about not speaking or interrupting? Ma'am?
So what? Y'all can shake a piece of shit motherfucking hand and say
Hey,
congratulations.
ma'am, if you go off like that, you can be held in contempt of court and go to jail. Do you want to do that?
Just proceed to the fucking court hearing and shut.
This part's key. The court is checking Wagner's eligibility for the LEAP program, which helps non-custodial parents catch up on support while avoiding jail. It's basically a second chance system. But Kelly doesn't seem interested in second chances. She's laser focused on punishment. And while her frustration might be understandable, her behavior isn't helping. The smartest move here would have been to stay calm, let the record speak, and let Wagner's history of non-payment hang him. Instead, her attitude is about to hand her a legal L of her own.
One more outburst or one more vulgarity and you will be going to jail. You understand?
Good luck.
What, ma'am?
I said good luck. Finish court.
Bridges, you can ask Mr. Wagner any questions pertaining to the issue before the court, which is his non-payment of child support. Do you have any questions?
I already know why his non-payment of child support is. Why he's had a job the whole time working for Larson's Construction, making $26 an hour underneath the table for months now.
Okay,
Instead,
ma'am,
maybe-
this is your
in a
time
fucking
to ask him. This is your time to ask him questions, not for you to give a statement at this point. So if you have any questions for him, ask those.
okay, Derek, seeing you had money to buy alcohol, why were you not paying your child support?
I was terminated because you had contacted FOC before I had a chance to be placed on payroll, so I was terminated.
That's not my fault. You know you're supposed to pay child support. Pay your shit. Be a man. Instead of a bum drunk.
And there it is, the interruption that could have been avoided. When the judge says, you'll have an opportunity to speak later. That's not a suggestion, that's a direct order. Kelly keeps talking over the court, which turns a valid grievance into contempt of court in this environment. Even one word out of turn can turn a witness into a defendant. It's a golden rule of courtroom survival. Never out-talk a judge, never out-yell the record, and definitely never out-cuss the bench.
Court will make the following finding this matter. In this case, Mr. Wagner has a minimal support obligation of $148.50 per month, including his arrearage repayment in this matter that, in fact, over the last year, he has, as he stated, he's worked approximately 2.5 months during that time, making $200 per week. On each of those weeks that he acknowledges that he simply failed to pay, and there's no excuse for not doing so. In addition to that, he did have odd jobs. He stated that he has been hindered somewhat because he has not had an ID or a birth certificate, etc., to acquire employment, but he has not stated any effort he's made to acquire that. Likewise with the GED, other than that he's had no money to do that. The court will find that he has had the present and the ability to pay, that he's failed or refused to pay, and therefore he is in contempt of court. Anything before sentencing, Mr. Sackrader?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. My client testified that
This is the exact moment everything flips. Kelly dropped profanity on a sitting judge. something that 100% guarantees you a contempt citation in any courtroom. The crazy part? Judge Kirkman actually gives her another chance. Most judges would have hit the gavel the second that F-bomb landed, but instead, he gives a warning, a lifeline. Unfortunately, as we'll see, she doesn't take it. And when that fuse burns out, the explosion is inevitable.
Obligation, we would ask that any jail sentence be 31 days or less, with credit for 7 days already served in this matter. And we would request a purge amount in the amount of $400. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Well, in this matter, Mr. Wagner, I could sentence you up to 45 days. I'm not going to do that only because it is your first time that you would have any jail time, even though you did have a prior contempt. There was no jail time at that point. What I'm going to do is I am going to sentence you to 21 days in jail with credit for 7 days served. And I'm going to put a purge amount in place of the amount of $500. If you're able to pay the purge amount, then you would not have to serve the balance of your jail sentence. Do you have any questions, sir?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Court will end this matter at 11 a.m. You're free to go. Have a good day.
Now, this cross-examination is messy. Instead of asking relevant questions, Kelly starts turning it into a personal attack. That's the danger of letting emotion lead in legal settings. You might feel justified, but the judge only sees disrespect and chaos. Wagner, for all his unpaid support, comes off more composed, which actually helps him. Courtrooms reward composure, not passion. This moment is a masterclass in how staying calm can make even the guilty look credible, and how rage can make you look reckless.
Court is going to hold Ms. Bridges in contempt of court based upon the last outburst and the last vulgarity. Ms. Wills, do you have Ms. Bridges' phone number? Can you contact her and get her back?
Yes. Let me just go ahead. If you allow me, would you like me to go off record while I call her right now to get her back on the Zoom?
No, go ahead. We'll just hold on and put her on.
Okay. Hi, Ms. Bridges. This is your enforcement officer. Judge Kirkham was wondering if you could please log back on to Zoom to speak with him. If you could please log back on, Judge was requesting that. Okay, just log right back onto the Zoom room and they'll let you in. She hung up on me. So I'm unsure if she will log back in or not.
Let me see. This may be her.
Okay. Yes, that's her.
Bridges, I had warned you multiple times about your outbursts and the vulgarity, and apparently that did not have any impact. You'll have to appear on, we'll have her appear on March 17, 2023, no later than 4:00 p.m. to serve her 3 days in jail.
The judge shows restraint again here. Instead of the full 45-day sentence Wagner could have faced, he only gets 21 days, with credit for time served and a $500 purge option. That's relatively lenient given his history. But the real story isn't Wagner's punishment. It's the calm before the next storm. Because while the judge is wrapping up, Kelly just can't let it go. What she does next turns her from a witness to an inmate, faster than you can say contempt of court. And there it is, the final act. The judge calls her back after a profanity-laced exit, and when she mouths off again, that's it. 3 days in jail for contempt. Some might call it harsh, but honestly, she was warned repeatedly. This is a textbook example of how courtroom etiquette isn't optional. Judges have patience, but only up to a point. The key takeaway? Emotions might win arguments at home, but in court, they'll get you cuffed.